A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Mike.
And I'm Laura.
You're still Laura, and
Yay.
you're still here. How
I know.
nice to have you. Now, how about you? Have you ever fought with a friend or a family member? Oh, that's not good. When fighting with anyone isn't good, but fighting with your friends or your family member, that's not good. Well, if you did, and I guess you probably did, what happened?
Of course, all the time. You know what? I'm actually not speaking to my sister right now.
Really?
Right. Let's just
gosh.
say she treats other people so much nicer than our family. 我姐姐对我跟就是他们对外人就是差别很大。
What's that line from the song? You always hurt the ones you love.
I know. I hope you're watching this, sis.
Yeah.
As for my friends, I don't remember the last time I had a fight with them. I choose my friends very carefully.
Okay.
They're usually pretty easygoing and we treat each other with respect.
Well, that's nice. And
Yeah.
being easygoing and treating others with respect is a good way to avoid fights. But of course, fights do happen. We are all human, even if you're perfect, and you're probably not as perfect as you think. We still make mistakes, or other people make mistakes.
Right.
We get upset. Fights, arguments, disagreements, conflict does happen. So our article today is going to be kind of, looking at that in hopefully a happy way. And we're not going to fight during the article, are we?
No.
Are we? We're not going to fight, are we?
Are we really
It sounded like you wanted to fight.
I do.
You didn't agree with me.
No, totally. Okay. Well,
All right.
let's just...
Whatever.
Let's just check our article.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah, whatever you
All right.
say.
Yeah, fine.
Keep emotional blackmail out of your friendships. Warm-up question. Have you ever fought with a friend or family member? What happened?
Have you used emotional blackmail? Emotional blackmailers use fear, guilt, and obligation to get something that they want. Their actions and words can hurt their closest friendships. However, they might not even know that they're doing this. Emotional blackmail might look like, "You need to do this for me, or else." This causes obligation and fear. It's difficult to trust someone after they say this. Try talking about your needs and why they're important. "I do so much for you. Just help me once." This causes guilt. Someone might think, "I have to help," or "I'll be a bad person." Try saying, "I need your help," but only if you're comfortable with that.
Word power. Fear. Fear. Some people have a fear of the dark, so they don't turn off the light at night. Some people have a fear of the dark, so they don't turn off the light at night. Friendship. Friendship. One way to build a strong friendship is to always listen to your friends. One way to build a strong friendship is to always listen to your friends. Cause. Cause. Your mistakes caused lots of problems for our team. Your mistakes caused lots of problems for our team. Trust. Trust. You can trust me. I won't lie to you. You can trust me, I won't lie to you.
认识字汇
Emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmailer. Emotional blackmailer. Emotionally. Emotionally. Blackmail. Blackmail. Guilt. Guilt. Obligation. Obligation.
I accept your apology.
Oh, okay. And yeah, sorry.
It's okay. You didn't have anything to say sorry for.
Oh,
All right,
shut
but
up.
I was using emotional blackmail there.
Right.
Oh, let's talk about that. That's something that can cause fights. It's something that some people are really good at. Let's learn more about this idea. Emotional, don't point at me. Emotional blackmail. Have you used emotional blackmail? You know, you're making someone feel bad because you know it will kind of hurt them and it will help you. Yeah, that's kind of
that
emotional
thing.
blackmail, being a little tricky with other people's emotions.
OK， 所以一开始我们其实我们刚刚是开玩笑，我跟 Mike 很好啦。OK， 所以一开始课我们提到就是你有情绪勒索过人吗？哇，这听起来好像有一点难哦，因为 emotional blackmail 哦看起来很长，其实就等于我们中文的情绪勒索，真的是直接翻哦。那其中的 blackmail 哦这个字呢？其实就有勒索或者是胁迫这样子的意思哦，它是个动词啦。
So let's find out what someone who uses this might do.
Right.
And then we learn a term for these people, emotional blackmailers.
Right.
All right, so that's what you might call, oh, my sister, my brother, my friend, a real emotional blackmailer. Why would they say that? Well, emotional blackmailers use fear, guilt, and obligation to get something that they want. If you loved me, you would do this for me, but I guess maybe you don't love me that much.
Oh, that's a very good example. 大家有没有这样子装可怜过呢？OK， 其实 emotional blackmailer， 我们刚刚有提到。Emotional blackmail 就是情绪勒索嘛，那后面加 er 就是人嘛，所以就是施加情绪勒索的人。那课文提到的就是说这些人呢，他们会使用什么呢？恐惧啦，或者是 guilt。Guilt 是什么呢？就是罪恶感或是内疚，它是个名词哦。OK， 或是也有自责的意思。还有他们会使用Obligation 这个字看起来也有点难，它是法律或者是道义上的像是责任义务，但是简单说就是人情债 OK， 所以这些他们都会利用这些来得到他们想要的事情。那刚刚的句子提到一个很重要的字哦，也就是我们今天的 word power word fear， 用来表示恐惧害怕。那刚刚提到的 fear 它是个名词哦，就是恐惧啦害怕，比方像是很多人怎么样有惧高症，就是害怕之后从很高的地方看下去，这个英文就是 a fear of heights，heights 就是高度的意思哦。另外常常我们会用 fear of something 用来表示对于什么的恐惧，比方像是Fear of failure should not stop you trying. 意思就是你不要因为害怕失败，也就是 failure 就放弃一直尝试哦。那要特别注意的哦，就是口语我们常常说我很害怕哦，其实呢我们不会用 I have fear， 比较常见的说法是 I am frightened or I am afraid. So do not say that someone has fear. You say that someone is frightened or is afraid. 要注意哦。好啦，我们来看另外一个例句，要怎么用 fear 哦。Some people have a fear of the dark, so they don't turn off the light at night. 哦，这里提到的就是害怕什么样 ？Dark 就是黑暗，所以有些人对于黑暗怀有恐惧，所以他们晚上是不关灯的哦。
Now, these emotional blackmailers are using fear, guilt, obligation to, get what they want. But it's a really selfish thing to do, right? And by doing it, it says their actions and words can hurt their closest friendships. Absolutely.
So true.
It's hard to use emotional blackmail on someone who doesn't know you, right? Because they'd be like, well, I don't care. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. But you do it, so that's why you do it to people around you, people who love you, because you know that it will work on them, but it can hurt those close friendships, especially if you do it a lot, if it becomes sort of the way you handle your relationships. It's really not
That
good.
could be really annoying. My friends are like that. OK, 所以这些就是施加情绪勒索的人，他们的行为还有他们的言语会伤害他们最亲近的友谊。所以刚刚 Mike 提到的没有错，其实越亲的人，可能这样的情况越会发生哦。不过我们在这里先停一下，我们来看一下刚刚也提到另外一个 word power word， 也就是 friendship 这个字。那相信大家都知道 friend 这个字不陌生吧，就是朋友啦。所以呢，你也可以推敲 friendship 就是什么呢？就是友谊啦，它是个名词。我们来看看 friendship 要怎么用吼，它常常搭配的动词就有 start or form a friendship， 就是开启啦，建立友谊。不过相反的当然也有比较负面的，就是 destroy a friendship 是什么呢？就是破坏一段友谊。OK， 那还有 friendship 有常搭配的形容词，比方像是 close friendships 就是指亲密的友谊，还有 lasting friendships 就是指这种很持久的友谊哦。那如果你要表示跟某一个人的友情如何很好啦，很亲密啦，你要用 my friendship with， 注意要接 with， 然后再接人，比方像是 my friendship with Albie, Casey or Mike， OK， 就是指我跟 Albie, Casey 或是 Mike 等等的友谊啦。好，那我们来看一看 friendship 如果要用在一整句当中要怎么用呢？像是One way to build a strong friendship is to always listen to your friends. 说得非常好哦，就是建立坚定友谊的其中一途呢，就是呢要时时刻刻倾听朋友说话。我觉得这个非常的重要哦。
So yes, there are those tricky people who might use emotional blackmail. They might be like your sister. They might be hurting their friendships and relationships, and they might not care just because they're kind of tricky people. However, there are other people who just do it because, they think it's the easy way of getting what they want.
Works.
Right. However, it says these people, these emotional blackmailers, however, they might not even know that they're doing this.
Oh.
Like my grandmother, she was kind of like that. She would say, oh, it's really hot in here. It would be nice if someone would open a window. And we'd say, Grandma, do you want us to open the window? Just ask us to open the window. I don't think she was doing it. It was just, she wasn't doing it to hurt us. It was just the way she did things.
OK, Grandma. OK, 好了，不过呢，你们知道吗？然而，课文这里提到说，这些施加这个情绪勒索的人，他们甚至可能都不知道他们在做这样子的行为哦。这是一个蛮有趣的事情，他们会不知不觉的做这样的意思啦。这句课文呢，我们有看到 that 引导名词子句的用法，所以呢，我们要先进 Magic Box 听听讲解讲这个 that 跟关系代名词的 that 两者的差异哦。
Magic Box。
哎呦，英文里面的这个关系代名词到底是谁？大家想必都是不傻傻，但是呢，不要担心哦，花猫来了。今天呢，就要一起来看看关系代名词它要怎么用吧。首先，谁是关系代名词嘞 ？OK， 这些字词哦，它们呢有连接词的功用，因为呢，它们是用来连接两个子句，让这两个子句产生关系的。同时呢，这些字词呢可以用来代替前面的名词，所以呢叫做代名词。所以两个名称合而为一，就是呢我们的关系代名词了。比方说，刚刚呢，花妈在路上忽然有人来跟我讲话 ，The man that I was talking to is my high school teacher。那个男人是我的高中老师啦。哎呀，真是让我想起了许多青春回忆。I was talking to the man 跟 the man is my high school teacher 两个句子呢，在这边呢，我们就透过关系代名词 that 来连接。同时啊，这个 that 呢又替代的 the man， OK， 所以啊，它又是连接词，又是代名词。这个 that 呢就是关系代名词咯。那这个关系代名词啊，它引导的子句呢有很多种哦，什么副词子句啦、名词子句啦等等哦。其实大家呢不要害怕，一样哦都是关系代名词的用法，差别呢就在于呢关系代名词引导的这个句子，它在句子里扮演的是什么样的角色。今天呢我们就要特别来说明这件事情，名词子句跟形容词子句咯。首先呢，看一下刚刚的例句哦。The man that I was talking to is my high school teacher。在这边呢，我们关系代名词子句的功能呢是要指定，因为呢，我说的是那个男人是我的高中老师。但是啊，是哪个男人呢？是穿红色衬衫的那个，还是呢在吃甜甜圈的那个？都不是哦，是我在讲话的那一位。所以呢，这边呢我们就说 that I was talking to， 就是呢在形容这个是一个什么样的男人，是我正在讲话的那个男人。所以在这边呢，我们就是形容词的功能，也就是形容词子句咯。那名词子句呢？比方说柚子今天给我晚回家，I know that you went to the movie with Tina。 哎呀，卖搞我骗，我都怎样？我都知道你就是跟那个 Tina 去看电影啊。句子里面呢 that 引导的子句呢是作为 know 这个动词的受词哦。我知道了，知道了什么事情？在这边呢，我们就用 that 来连接带出这个事实哦。所以呢，在这里当动词的受词，也就是名词的角色，所以呢就叫做名词子句咯。马上呢就要来考考你咯。刚刚呢橘子在说哎呀，去问一下妈，去问一下晚餐吃什么啊。Please ask mom what we're having for dinner。 这边的 what 引导的子句呢是名词子句还是形容词子句呢？哎呀，这边这个句子呢是作为 ask 这个动词的受词，所以呢就是名词子句咯。如果呢我们说 I had a pizza that was made by my mom for dinner， 这个时候呢 that 引导的子句呢是在形容披萨，所以呢就是形容词子句了。大家呢不要担心，多听多看多练习，一起加油咯。
All right, so there are a certain few phrases and ways of saying things that an emotional blackmailer might use more often than other people might use it. So, pay attention for little signals or little hints like this.
Right.
It says emotional blackmail might look like or might sound like you need to do this for me or else. Do what I want or something bad will happen or I will make you unhappy in some way.
You're kind of like threatening this person, okay?
Kinda, yeah.
所以情绪勒索，如果你们还有点状况外，接下来你们可以听听看这些句子，可能会觉得好熟悉，可能自己做的，或者是常常听到别人会这样做，那就要小心，这些是警讯哦。所以它可能会看起来像是你必须要帮我做这件事，要不然 or else， OK， 这个连接词就是否则要不然这样的意思。比方像是 hurry up or else we'll miss the movie， OK， 就是快一点，不然我们就要错过这个电影的时间咯。
And what happens when you hear that? If someone says that to you, well, it says this causes obligation and fear. All right. Obligation, you feel you have to do what that person wants, or you're a bad person in some kind of way. And if you don't do what that person wants, not only are you a bad person, but something even worse could happen, making you and the other person unhappy. And of course, it will all be your fault, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
No.OK， 所以这会造成什么呢 ？Obligation， 我们前面有提到，就是你觉得你有义务要去做这件事情，这种人情债的感觉哦。还有什么呢？就是 fear， 恐惧，我们前面有提到，所以你就会觉得说，如果我不帮他做这件事情，会不会可能怎么样，他就不喜欢我啦，或是他会生气啊，等等，这些都是可能会发生的。刚刚有提到了 cause 这个动词，对吧？这也是我们今天的 word power， 我们来看看怎么用。cause 这个动词有造成、引起的意思，那我们常常可以用 cause somebody trouble or problems 来表示制造麻烦啦，或是问题给某人哦。比方像是呢 Regina is always trying to cause trouble between us， 意思就是 Regina 一直在我们之间制造麻烦。What a mean girl, Regina。 好啦，我们来看到另外一个例句，提到的是 Your mistakes caused lots of problems for our team， 就是说呢，你的疏失造成了我们团队很多问题耶。
Now, the problem with that, of course, is that as the article explains, it's difficult to trust someone after they say this. If they're willing to try to, as we say, pull your strings, to use emotional blackmail on you to get what they want, well, if they do it once, they'll probably do it again. And that makes it difficult to trust that person, to really believe that they're being truthful and honest after they do this. So once you do this kind of thing, it already has affected your relationship.Of
course, OK. 可是在他们说了这些话之后，怎么样？真的就你很难信任这些人啦。OK， 你就会产生觉得说，这些人是不是常会在利用我的情绪，在勒索我的情绪？所以你就可能跟他的关系，当然就会有一些破裂裂痕产生。这里我们提到了今天最后一个 word power， 也就是 trust 这个动词哦。我们来看看怎么用。Trust 这个字是可以当作其实动词还有名词，在本课当中是当作动词来用，表示信任、相信哦。比方像是 That guy is such a liar. You can't trust a word he says. 意思就是那个男生他是个大骗子，你不能怎么样相信他说的话哦。或者呢，我记得在铁达尼号好像有这一句台词，就是 Do you trust me, Rose? OK， 意思就是你相信我吗 ？OK， 通常可能男主角都会很帅的对女主角说这句话，你相信我吗 ？OK， 我们来看一下例句哦，要怎么用 trust。就是你还可以这么用 You can trust me, I won't lie to you 意思就是你可以信任我，我不会骗你的。
So if you find yourself in a situation like this, dealing with an emotional blackmailer, before it starts to affect your relationship and ruin any trust, the article gives us this advice.Try talking about your needs and why they're important. Yeah, don't use emotional blackmail. Don't let other people use it on you. Be honest and open with your communication. Talk about what you need and explain why it's important. And then often people will be much more understanding.
Really? I think this is really hard though.
It is hard, but you have to be honest and communicate well.
Okay, especially if it's a parent-child situation in Taiwan, that's really hard.
Yes,
OK，
yeah.
所以试着呢说你的需求啦，并且说明为何这些需求是很重要的。我们提到了 needs，OK， 它通常是当作副词来用哦，它是个名词 ，OK， 就是表示复数型来用，它是表示需要、需求这样的意思。不过我刚刚有跟 Mike 讲，我觉得这个好像有一点点难。我们知道要这么做，可是我们就很难跟可能比如说，如果跟爸爸妈妈亲子关系发生这个事情，我觉得如果要说服爸妈说，你不要这样做，我很不舒服，好像有一点难。I think sometimes some mothers might find it hard. Like they can't change overnight after you tell them your needs.
Sure, absolutely.
Right.
Changing the way you deal with your relationships is a difficult thing to do because we get into these habits and these patterns and these ways of doing things. Let's look at a sentence that you might hear that might cause problems right away. I do so much for you. Just help me once. Oh, so we already have that list of all the wonderful things that I do, and I only need you to do this one thing. Well, of course, even though it might be true, this causes guilt. As soon as you hear that, your defenses might go up because now I feel guilty about those things that you've done for me before, and already people are not dealing with it in the healthiest way.
OK， 接下来你们听听看，这是不是很熟悉？就是说，我为你做了那么多，你就帮我一次嘛？有没有觉得很恐怖这句话？因为通常我们听到这句话，就会觉得说，哦，如果我们不帮他，就会怎么样？我们就会很内疚啊 ，this causes guilt 会导致内疚感 ，so we kind of feel if we're a bad person if we don't help, right?
Exactly. As soon as you hear something like that, you feel guilt, and then as it explains, someone might think, I have to help, or I'll be a bad person. Yeah, that's basically when we feel guilty, or when we are having this feeling of guilt.
Right. 你看吧，所以有些人可能就会想的跟我刚刚说的一样，他说哈，那这样我就得帮忙这个人啊，不然好像看起来就是我是个坏人哦，很自私都不帮，人家都已经说，哎呀，我为你做那么多啊，这样子。
Right. So instead of just rolling out the emotional blackmail and slapping that person with a face full of guilt, what could you do instead? Well, try saying, I need your help, but only if you're comfortable with that, right?
Okay.
So you make it much more of an equal thing, and you're allowing the person to say what they would think about what you're asking them to do, rather than kind of forcing them to say yes.
OK， 所以呢，如果呢，你觉得，我可能常常就是会制造这种情绪勒索的感觉，我觉得你可以试试看调整这么说，就是我需要你的帮忙，但是前提是，你要感觉到 OK， 不会不舒服 OK， 所以你不想要让对方有压迫感，或是觉得说你好像是逼他一定要说是这样子的一种压力哦。Yeah, I think that's a better way of putting it rather than like say do this or else you're a bad person. And you know, I helped you so many times, you know, it's just this once.
Exactly. Because if you did that to me, then I might think it's okay to do that to you next time. And then we just get into this sort of bad circle of emotional blackmail tennis going back and forth. Oh, I'm guilty. No, you're guilty. Now we're both unhappy. This is not good. But you know what is good? Review time.
Nice.
And if you don't come back and join us for review time, we're going to be really sad. And you're kind of a bad person. So
we're
you
gonna
should
cry.
definitely do it. You're going to hurt our feelings.
Else.
That's not emotional blackmail. But it is.
Review time.
Okay, Mike, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes, okay. Please do.
Have you actually said those phrases or similar phrases before to people close to you? Do you think so? Be honest.
I try not to.
Okay,
I try to, you know, be open and, you know, about my needs and what I think is fair. You know, I might respond to it, but I also might call it out if someone says it.
Right.
But, you know, my thing is I just like people to kind of get along. So if there's a little bit of emotional blackmail, it's often just because the person really needs help. And they just don't know the best ways to ask for it. You know, so it is one of those things that, depending on how important it is.
Of course.
Right? If it's something really important and they're just uncomfortable about asking for it, well, maybe I'll just try to help out.
Okay. Yeah. Are you good at dealing with people who actually say, like, if they're going to be kind of like...
I guess. I don't really have a lot of people
guilty.
I don't have a lot of people like that in my life. So that's
Lucky.
The other good thing. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys have a think about this article. It's not finished yet.
No.
We'll be back tomorrow to talk
right.
more about emotional blackmail.
And we would like you to join us if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Keep emotional blackmail out of your friendships. Warm-up question. Have you ever fought with a friend or family member? What happened?
Have you used emotional blackmail? Emotional blackmailers use fear, guilt, and obligation to get something that they want. Their actions and words can hurt their closest friendships. However, they might not even know that they're doing this. Emotional blackmail might look like, "You need to do this for me, or else." This causes obligation and fear. It's difficult to trust someone after they say this. Try talking about your needs and why they're important. "I do so much for you. Just help me once." This causes guilt. Someone might think, "I have to help," or "I'll be a bad person." Try saying, "I need your help," but only if you're comfortable with that.
Word power.
Fear. Fear. Some people have a fear of the dark, so they don't turn off the light at night. Some people have a fear of the dark, so they don't turn off the light at night. Friendship. Friendship. One way to build a strong friendship is to always listen to your friends. One way to build a strong friendship is to always listen to your friends. Cause. Cause. Your mistakes caused lots of problems for our team. Your mistakes caused lots of problems for our team. Trust. Trust. You can trust me. I won't lie to you. You can trust me. I won't lie to you.
认识字汇
Emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmailer. Emotional blackmailer. Emotionally. Emotionally. Blackmail. Blackmail. Guilt. Guilt. Obligation. Obligation.